everybody, it's Benny One, and I'm back at you with another Batman movie review, everybody. And today we are reviewing Batman Forever, everybody. That's right. So this movie passes the torch to Joel Schumacher, everybody, the guy that put bat nips on the bat suit. That's pretty much what he's most famously known for, is the guy that put bat nips on the goddamn bat suits. I will say in Batman Forever, it's just a little round thing that they put on there, but then in Batman and Robin, they actually literally made them look like nipples. So, not really sure why he was so obsessed with putting the bat nips on the bat suit. I don't quite understand it, but... So, after Tim Burton's two Batman movies that were very dark, very gritty, we get this different take on Batman with this neon-esque lit Gotham City. It's more vibrant. The color schemes are more vibrant. Just everything is a little bit different. Like, Tim Burton produced this because after Batman Returns, he went really dark with it, and the studio kind of was like, well, we want you to be involved, but we want someone else to come in and make the movies. So yes, they brought in Joel Schumacher, everybody, and we also get a new Batman in this movie, Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer makes his one and only debut and final appearance as Batman, everybody, and I enjoy his Batman. I'm not a big fan of his Bruce Wayne, but I do think he does a pretty damn good job playing Batman. He has the physical aspect. I like what he did with the voice. He has that presence of Batman. Like, I really think he actually did an okay job playing Batman. Like, I feel like if he would have made another movie or two, maybe, who knows? Like, you never know. It could have been something good. You don't really know. We only got one movie with him, so... And then we also, our villains in this movie, we have Tommy Lee Jones playing Harvey Dent, Two-Face, everybody. So, Billy D. Williams played Harvey Dent in the original Batman, 1989, and then he wasn't in the sequel, and then he got, obviously, recast because he probably was too old at that point to be playing the character or whatever. So they cast Tommy Lee Jones. And you know what? Tommy Lee Jones does a good job playing this version of Two-Face. He's crazy, he's over the top, and Tommy Lee Jones just eats it up, man. He goes all in on this version of Two-Face that they gave him the script for. Like, he really goes all in for it. And I like the way he looked. Like, he had the makeup and everything, like it was all prosthetic and makeup. I thought he looked cool. The look of him, that's the thing about these early Batman movies is they do a fairly decent job with the look of these villains and our superheroes. Like, they really do. They do a decent job with the way they look and their costumes and everything. They're pretty damn comic book accurate for some points, like through the comic books throughout the years. They're very accurate with the costumes and stuff. Now, the way that the characters were portrayed, not so much. But, yeah, Tommy Lee does a decent job. I enjoy him in the movie. He's kind of quirky and funny, but that's what these Joel Schumacher Batman movies are. They're not as dark and serious as the Tim Burton ones, where they're more campy and silly and funny. This one, Batman Forever, not so much, I would say. It goes into that campy, funny stuff, like, I would say half and half. It takes, like, what Tim Burton did, and then it brings in that campy Joel Schumacher, like Batman Adam West 66 style, and it does a like mixture of the both. Whereas in Batman and Robin, they fully shift to the Adam West era Batman. Like, they fully go camp in that movie. But this one's like a mixture. It's half and half. And we also have Jim Carrey playing the Riddler, everybody. And you know what? I like it, and then I don't like it. It's like a 50-50 thing. Because there's times where I think he's trying to be there. He's a little bit too much like the Joker. But then there's times where, like, I'm like, okay, that's the Riddler. Like, that's awesome. Like, he really is. I don't know if Jim Carrey mimicked this Riddler after the one that was in the Batman TV series back in the 60s. Because it really seems like he did a lot. Love the costume that they had for him. Like, he looked phenomenal. His cane everything. Probably the funniest scene with him is in the Batcave when he's blowing the Batcave up with the little Riddler bat bombs and stuff. That's just, it's silly, it's funny, but it's probably some of the best shit with him in this movie is when they go and attack Wayne Manor and everything. So, and Nicole Kidman is in this movie too. She plays Dr. Chase Meridian, everybody. And you know, her and Batman's dialogue together is just so corny. Like, it's corny. I'm not a big fan of it, to tell you the truth. So we get a new Batmobile. I like the Batmobile in this movie. I think it's cool. I had the toys for this movie and Batman and Robin, like all of them. I had the Batmobile. I had the Batwing from this movie. I had the Batboat. Like, I had all the toys. I had all the action figures, because that's what this movie, and especially Batman and Robin, that's a lot, really, really what they were pushing for was toy sales. And we will get to that in the next movie review, because that's a lot to do with that movie. But, you know, this movie is okay. It's not really a horrible Batman movie, but it's also not one of the best ones. But it's really not, it's not that bad. I do think the movie gets hated on a lot more than it deserves, because they just took it in a different approach, and Gotham was a little bit different. It was styled different. It had a different theme and everything, like the Neo City type shit, and it was different, but it wasn't like horrible. I mean, yeah, the campiness came into effect, but it's got some cool action in it. This is when the CG special effects started really showing up in these Batman movies, and some of the CG doesn't hold up. I mean, as good as it probably should, but you know, the movie came out in 1995. I know there was movies like Jurassic Park that came out years before this. So, but yeah, I kind of like Val Kilmer's Batman. Like the scene where he busts into the Riddler's little party that he's having, because Two-Face decides to attack, even though him and the Riddler didn't talk about that or anything, because they're partners and all that. Like, Val Kilmer can physically do the Batman shit. Like, that whole sequence with him with Batman is awesome, especially the part where he goes down that tube and that shaft that Two-Face and his thugs kind of trick him into going down into, and he goes rolling into like a little nook down underground and stuff, and they turn some gas on, and they like, Two-Face tries to blow Batman up, and he puts his cape over and pushes a button to, you know, secure himself and be safe or whatever from the fire. It's like a flame-proof cape shit, whatever. And when freaking Batman just busts through those flames and everything, and cape's flapping, and it's got that new Batman theme to it, that shit's awesome. That shit, that I love that stuff. Like, you can give me that all day. Like, I love it. And I actually don't mind the new Batman theme that they came up with for this movie. The music's a little, I would say the score for the movie's kind of it's okay. I prefer the Danny Elfman stuff compared to, I don't know if he did this one. I should have looked that up. I'm sorry. But yeah, overall, I mean, it's a fun different different take on Batman from what we had with Tim Burton, because we had some Tim Burton stuff, but then we had this new Joel Schumacher stuff mixed in with it, like 50-50, like I said.
Hey everybody, sorry about this. When I was editing the review for Batman Forever, I realized that I kind of forgot to talk about Chris O'Donnell's Robin, Dick Grayson, everybody. Got to give you my 2 cents on that real quick, Jesus. So he they did it pretty comic book accurate, because they had the Flying Graysons, which was his parents and his brother and him in the circus, and they do end up dying. I don't know if Two-Face, I'm pretty sure Two-Face isn't the one that kills his parents in the comic books. I mean, he may have at one point, but I'm pretty sure he's not. So I do think Chris O'Donnell does a decent job playing Robin. He is an older version of this Dick Grayson Robin, though. I will say that. That's one thing, I guess, that I kind of didn't like about it is he seemed like he was like probably 22, 23 when he should have been about maybe 16. Because I think Dick, when he joined Batman and everything, I think he was in high school at least like a freshman or a sophomore. So he was around that 15 to 16 age range. So Chris O'Donnell's a little bit too old, but otherwise I didn't mind the portrayal that they did of him. It was pretty comic book accurate for the most part. And I love the classic tease of the classic costume with the Flying Graysons. And then he does get the new costume towards the end of the movie, which is all shiny and crazy looking. So, but yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys my 2 cents on that. So, because I kind of forgot to talk about it. So, sorry about that. Woo!
So, I don't think it's a horrible movie. Like, I really don't. So, I am going to give it 3 lightsabers out of 5 lightsabers. I don't think it's quite as good as Batman Returns, but it's not the worst Batman movie. Trust me, it is not the worst Batman movie. So 3 lightsabers out of 5 lightsabers for Batman Forever, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed that review. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And I'll be catching you on the tube later, because I have spoken.